your bandwidth is okay? No.
I don't know. We are going to find out.
Oh, I see. We're going to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to tell me that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, okay. I'm hearing myself on the stream, so I think it's working. I'm going to.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Yeah. I love. Yeah, it's so shocking to hear your voice.
Don't you? Don't you find it's strange, eh?
Yeah.
When you hear yourself. Yeah.
Hello, Saim. How are you? Oh my God, you missed the moment. Sasha, please do the thing again.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Once again.
It takes time.
Oof. There's so much things stuck on my head. I was just as I was saying, I'm just so impressed to be here in this eye-popping moment of microservice discussion with you guys.
That's wonderful. Oh my, wonderful.
I know what you're thinking. This guy must be so weird. He's got these lying around on his desk. That's okay, guys.
You are absolutely ready for the microservices. You tell it. You are so ready.
Staring at the computer screen so long my eyes fell out and I need some eye drops. Anyway.
So absolutely. I think you show the same when we are live, when we start the live stream as well.
Yes.
It went. I think Sergio put me on the internet like that. Yeah.
You're already on the internet like that. You're live. Oh. You can ask to Arvin. Arvin is in the chat, so say hi to Arvin.
Is Arvin there? Arvin, you legend. Good to have you here.
Yeah.
Arvin, we're going to turn Arvin into a microservices monster.
I will do that because he's always there when we need it. So thank you.
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Arvin.
Okay, cool.
Arvin,
go ahead, please. Okay, let's retake. I find out we are not waiting anything.
Were we waiting for someone to say something?
Yeah,
I thought Sam was going to say something.
Yes, just want to let you know that it's just the three of us. Nobody else is going to say something if you're waiting more than that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so funny.
That's classic.
I think if Arvind is on the live stream, then I think that's wonderful because he tells us the feedback about it.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he's going to do that.
I hope so too.
Okay, here's when my my Southern Chilean I don't know how to say it, like look up my appearance from the south of Chile, so I feel like I'm part of this place right now.
No, you look good.
Thank you. I know.
Yeah, you got much better glasses than me. You look far more intellectual. I think you look way more like you know what you're talking about than I do.
It's just because he hold my eyes. It's a good future in your glasses. You imagine like you go to the store and did you have like some kind of glasses that can hold my eyes? The last one didn't work.
So funny, man.
I think we need to stop at this moment and just let Saim do this session works.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry for that.
I see we are. So we are on live stream. So 1, 2, 3, go.
Go.
Thank you everyone for joining us today, and I'm absolutely excited. And thank you for joining us. And one of our friends from Ortelius community is Sergio Canales. He's an active community contributor at Ortelius and also work as Red Hat. And one of the wonderful guys from Ortelius, that is Sasha. And always difficult to pronounce his second name, so I am skipping out that name. So Sasha, thank you for joining us today. And today we are absolutely excited. You tell your excitement to the audience, how excited you are today for the first live stream.
I am so, it's just amazing. I've never done this before, so I'm really like excited to be here, and it's like it's a real privilege, you know, to be able to do this and start getting some real spirit going, you know, and amongst the Ortelius community and out there in the world, right? With the three of you guys, with the two of you guys, we're gonna make it fun. We're gonna learn a lot. Yeah, I don't know everything, but I'm here to learn too, right?
Absolutely. And we have been scheduling this for a very long time, and hopefully this is our first ever live stream, Ortelius Office Hour. The purpose behind this is to help you show you what the Ortelius community are, who are the cool people behind this project, what we are doing, what are the roadmap for our project, what are we currently working on that, and so you can join us in our community and help us to start your contribution from the day one. So in this Ortelius Office Hour, we tell you the importance of that's microservices. We tell you the importance of open source, what it's like to be the open source, what benefits you bring into the table when you contribute into the open source, and how to start it, because ever since somebody started the contribution or started joining the community, any community in the world, the first thing you need to understand how I can contribute to this open source project and what is the purpose of open source community. So these are the conversation we're moving along in the future on this Ortelius live stream. And for today, is our focus is to get familiar with the Ortelius GitHub repositories, the processes behind the microservices, what are our currently things that we are energetic about, and what are the most excited points about our life in the Ortelius. And these two guys are always active. Go ping in with the Ortelius Discord channel. They're always happy to help you, always happy to make your life more comfortable with the microservices. So first, I will move to the Sergio. Introduce yourself to our audience, where you live, and what are you most excited about Ortelius, and tell us why we started a live stream.
Well, right now I'm in the south of Chile, so Chile is a country in Latin America, if you know. Sometimes it's not a food, it's a country too. I live from here. I work for all the time. I work for Red Hat, so I have a good connection to the rest of the guys in Red Hat globally, so it's fun. I learn a lot. Today I'm supporting the stream. I like to do the stream. I usually just play video games on the live stream. Today is new for me. This is new for me. Doing live stream for technology, because we were discussing it's not so often. But we're seeing this is changing. It's more commonly be interested on technology science, where Twitch right now have this science and technology category, so we are taking advantage of that. The only thing I want to share, and hopefully you get interested by this, and hopefully you don't get scared by us. Not all you have in the community of Ortelius, a lot of people. So if you're more quiet, if you have like pretty much, you're going to find a match for maybe your way to work or way to be. So don't be afraid. There is a lot. We have students, we have people with a lot of experience, people with less experience, but that's the fun. And the other thing is Ortelius is not just about like the product itself, is about a lot of people sharing and learning. So if you are like interested about open source, it's a really safe place to learn. And you have like so many ways to contribute. Don't even just coding. So we are going to talk about that today. So I give you back to you, Saim. Thank you.
Thanks, Sergio, for explaining all points. Now I will shift to Sasha, and Sasha is another active contributor to Ortelius. Always been very happy and always been a wonderful friendship kind of personality in the Ortelius community. We're so lucky to have him in our community. So Sasha, introduce yourself to our community and go ahead.
Hi everybody. So as Saim said, my name's Sasha. I come from Cape Town, South Africa. So this is my first open source community. I've never been part of one, and I wanted to really give back to the community in some way, and also back to people, technology. I'm passionate about microservices. I work for a company called CubeVisor, and we specialize in migrating clients into the cloud and putting their applications in microservices and Kubernetes. Yeah, it's really great just to be doing something like this and sharing it with Sam and Sergio. And I just want to echo what Sergio said. Yeah, this is a great place to learn. You know, don't be shy to come ask questions. Right, no one's going to shoot you down for asking questions. That's why we're here. I joined because I wanted to learn more. And I'm doing this because I want to give back more, right? And thanks to Sam and Sergio for this opportunity to be able to do that. And we're going to start doing this on a frequent basis, right? So that we can help people and make it fun and share our experiences. Yeah. Thanks very much, Sam.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sasha. We're so lucky to have you. And always will feel encourages if you join our community, and we'll put the link in the description where you can join us. We can talk about microservices because we are right now in the wave of the microservices. I think microservices is not just a 1 year old concept. It's a decade old. Might be a 2-decade old concept. But right now we are in a freedom to adopt those technologies, because when I started my career, we have a very sophisticated setup, and a lot of the time we are fighting with each other. This is not my mistake. This is your mistake. Why do I fix it? And then we see the container pop into the picture, and it's resolved the issue of it works on my machine, but it's also works on everyone's machine. And right now we're absolutely ready for the microservices journey. So for my first question, I will go back to the Sergio. Can you explain what is Ortelius doing right now in helping community being more predictable into a more predictable and more life, have their life more exciting when in adopting or migrating their traditional app to the microservices architecture?
Well, I will say that Ortelius, the thing that's fascinating about for me in Ortelius is a community that offer a way to embrace complexity. Containers are complex, microservices are complex. So usually you need to embrace some part of the complexity, not all. You remember, you need to understand what are you working. You need to understand the technology. It's not easy. You need a lot of experience, a lot of capacitation course and stuff like that. But in the day-to-day, you need to, after you already understand that, you don't need to be too complex, right? So Ortelius is a really good way. Is a solution that helps you to understand better what is happening inside your containers environment, even your maybe your Kubernetes enterprise or open source, local, on premise, on cloud, whatever. Is going to help you to have more easy way to see what is happening, what amount of application you have, what the logical relation on that, because it's at the end, you cannot operate your business in a technical way. You need to understand, like, hey, this solution, this app, this environment, this, I don't know, a customer facing interface is working or not. It's not going to help you to say, hey, the A container is down. What that I mean? That means I can do what is happening with my customer here? What is missing? So Ortelius is a really good way to see what is happening and have this understanding about your domain, your business, your solution, if it's working or not. So he is going to grab whatever you have and show you, and is at the beginning I really understand Ortelius like a deployment tool, but it's a deployment tool in a more business oriented way, or whatever you want, because at the end you are the one who is labeling, putting the names, doing the logical relation, but you have a tool to adapt your visibility to speak with your business. So that for me is amazing, and I think we need more of that on the technological space. Because we have one or another way we need to connect the technical solution to the business solution. So we are in the middle. We are helping on that side.
Yes, absolutely. Because right now we see from the containers shift is where everyone focused to the cloud native kind of stuff, and this cloud native landscape is quite daunting at first. There are so many pieces because container has their networking solution built into them. Then we have a storage solution, then we have policy engines, then we have image repositories, and there are container repositories. There is a lot of stuff going on, and we need some kind of a mechanism so we can integrate into the one solution, and that one solution can give it can do all of the heavy lifting on their end, and we are just feeling relaxed and enjoying the life. So Sasha, can you explain our audience, let's Ortelius, how you start, how you joined the community, and how long you've been in there, and what are your recent contribution, and what are you most excited about in living in the Octalius community?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I was looking for somewhere where I could give back, and I had an opportunity last year. Actually, it was funny with the pandemic, all these amazing conferences came online that normally you couldn't really have access to. You would have to fly there in person, right? And a lot of them, it's out of reach for some people, right? But through the pandemic, a lot of them went online, and I went to so many conferences. And then I happened to be at one conference, I can't remember which one it was, and I saw Steve and Tracy talking, and Tracy was speaking, and she's like, yeah, set up some time in my calendar. So I thought, what the heck, I'm going to do this. I'm going to set up some time in Tracy's calendar. And I got on so well with Tracy, and we had such a great conversation, and that was that. That's how I got into Ortelius, and I love what Ortelius stands for, because it can cover, it's not pinholed in one corner, right, in microservices. It covers such a vast, basically covers the entire ecosystem, in microservices. And so I think you'll never be bored. You'll always be learning something new. And really, the limit is not what Ortelius. It's the limit is what you can do is your creativity, what you can do with Ortelius, right? So I like that fact that it's kind of an endless endless creativity for a person who wants to use Ortelius or put it into the environment. You can make it do anything, right? It's really just up to you. And so that's how I got into microservices, into Ortelius. I wanted to get better at my coding because it wasn't such a strong point. And through Steve's help, who's very patient, I managed to deploy a little Python API right in the beginning, which was great. And yeah, so I was able to get some pull requests in. I managed to do my first Hacktoberfest through Ortelius. I got a T-shirt, which was pretty cool. I always love a T-shirt. And I've just met such amazing people. That's what's the most amazing thing about it is Ortelius. I've just met so many people all over the world who are also wanting to learn and sharing the experience and just give back and build something great together, right? And that for me is the major thing, is the community, is the people. It's the most important, I think. Without the people, nothing gets innovated, right? Yeah, that's my story, really. Yeah, so I'm really glad to be here and been contributing ever since. Thanks, Aim.
Thank you for explaining all these kind of things. And that's what we're talking about always in the community side, because I'm alone, not able to learn 14 different technology in a single day. And I don't know where the technology is moving forward, because we are I think in the 2 or 3 years back, we are just talking about only talking about DevOps. We never even think about the GitOps kind of things. And then these things are popping up. And let's say I am just in the middle of that period where people are just just landing their position into the DevOps market. But then they are starting about GitOps. How do I able to grasp all these information? That's really daunting at first. So first thing is to start joining the community, because in a community there are always experts available in their own domain, like experts available on the container networking side, container runtime side, the storage side. There are always people available, and you can't learn enough technologies on your own. You need to know what's happening, let's say in the Red Hat, what happening in the rest of the ecosystem, what happening in the Kubernetes community, and this is the community which help us. And I think the Ortelius community is really shines that, because it's not building the tool, but integrating the ecosystem into their own stuff. And that's a wonderful news, because if I join, let's say, another community, I might be able to learn some 3 or 4 kind of scenarios. But living in the Ortelius community help us, we can talk about so many different aspects of the application, from the application delivery side to the progress delivery to the supply chain to the container networking interfaces or storage interfaces, or all these kind of stuff in living in the Ortelius community. That's wonderful news for all of you. And if you want to join this, and that's a part of our focus. We are looking to finding more friends, more healthy friends who can talk about microservice, who can land it up out. And we are absolutely always joking, always sharing stuff, always laughing. We try to be a very productive and more friendlier to the community aspect of you. So over to you, Ortelius. Can you share your screen and tell us about the Ortelius stuff, on where the community reside, what are the GitHub repositories, and what are the initial, how if somebody joined the community, where he did started from?
Let me share my screen. Also, just another thing I just wanted to say is that Ortelius gave me the opportunity to work with students, for example, from She Code Africa, and give back in that area, right? So that's another amazing thing, to help students integrate into, whether it be coding or coding around microservices. So that was an amazing experience for me personally. Aisha and I did that. It was so cool. Okay, let me share my screen here. Find some. So where I would start, for example, oh wait, it's busy presenting still. Are we there? There we go. So I would start off here with the user guide, right? This has a lot of excellent documentation on how you can get started with Ortelius, how you can contribute, the repos that you need to download, how to do pull requests, that type of thing. Obviously, you can find out a lot of information about what Ortelius is, and all the sort of the jargon that is used, and to understand what that means from an Ortelius perspective. Let me just switch to another screen. Yes. So here you can find the contributors guide, which we can post in the channel. And there you can see is things you should know and so forth, and how-to tips. That's where you find the, there's a PRT cheat sheet. And so if you just go and get yourself involved and go through these, through this documentation, you'll be able to find out how to get involved. Obviously, the repositories are kept in GitHub, which I can show. Yep. I'll just go GitHub. Actually, one tab, yeah. This. There we go. If you go to the Octalius main, this is where you'll get started. You can just take a read through the README, and there's the mission statement and the value statements and so forth. And then you would you would start off here. You would clone this repo. First of all, fork this repo, clone it down onto your machine, and it's going. Then you need to go hit the issues, and go and have a look at what issues are being displayed here, and see what you would like to take on. Depending on how seasoned you are, you can take on. There's so many issues here that you can take on. There's documentation, there's coding, there's these things around Argo CD. If you don't know what that is, you're going to learn about it. So that's going to be a great thing for you. And just pick something and take it on and get involved, and share your changes in the Discord channel. Obviously, that's how we communicate together. We communicate using Discord, and you join the channel, and yeah, you start meeting new people and start taking on an issue and start learning. That's basically where you need to start. I hope that answers the question.
I'm going to be sure to add all the links of this landing page that Sasha put it. So we're going to put on the description on every channel. We're going to put this on Twitch, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. So every link of this video, this recording, we are going to add this link to know where to start. And one more thing to say, that it's not just about like, hey, I'm going to grab an issue. When you are in Discord server, you can propose like new stuff, like, hey, I think this is going to be good for Ortelius, and the people are going to say it's an awesome idea. Just added the issue, and you can like start the issue, look a contributor, like looking someone that is going to help you over that. But it's not here. It's like pretty much everyone is putting in place like new needs. It's not like, hey, what Ortelius wants. You're part of Ortelius, so if you want something new, you can just put it and create the issue and start it. And that's the fascinating thing. I remember looking at some other communities, and yeah, they're always like, you are like a little guy working that is just pull an issue, try to solve it, and so on. And it's really like, I don't know, it's like you're just consuming issues. But the really way to work is like giving, right, receiving and giving. If you're not doing that in a community, you're not pretty much like doing a collaborative work. You're just being like an employee from a community, and that's not the idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's really good. I like the fact that you say that you can create new ideas, which is exactly what is encouraged, right? That's really great, Sergio.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for explaining this to our audience, how you can start contributing. So all the links are available on the chat, and if you need any more discussion around this, we're happy to have you on the Discord channel. We can ask you all the questions, and we are really happy to help you out and make your journey more successful. And being living in the open source is not about just contributing to the code or these kind of things. You can tell us, provide us a feedback how you are using microservices today. How can we help you integrate your feedback into our repository and start working on these kind of stuff? It's also a part of contribution into the Ortelius community. Another is, let's say you're not familiar with the code or these kind of stuff. The first way to start doing some reading on the documentation and tell us, does our documentation are a good fit for the new beginners, or it's lacking some kind of new thing? So that's another contribution. That's a really vital contribution to us, and your feedback, because we are looking for the feedback of the people, and that's why we created this show, to have your feedback so we can start doing this kind of stuff that is really important for you. So you can tell us on the document side, go read on the documentation, and let's just explore, is there something missing on the documentation, or there are some or it's lacking at some point of time, and you can contribute from start contributing for the documentation itself. That's a wonderful way to start contributing to Ortelius as well. So I hope we can guide you in this very short hour of what is the best way to start contributing with Ortelius. So let's jump into another question. If somebody is relatively new to the microservices, can you draw some suggestion, how the microservices started, and what are the challenges microservices try to solve? Can Sergio, you tell our audience about this?
Well, in the microservice, today I'm just going to look a little to back in time. At this point, I will suggest to anyone is starting with the microservice to try to dig in the core ideas about microservices, because today microservices is a trend. There is a lot of people trying to get into that, but I'm seeing a lot of issues about using microservices when you don't need it. Microservices is not a must. is just an architecture, and is a strongly architecture to distributed systems. And distributed system is not like two deploys in the same machine. Distributed system is like something across the world. So if you are not having something like that, you need to rethink about microservices. Microservices are complex, and you need like less people but more expertise, and that is not something easy to find and is not easy to build. So try to go to the core and deep understanding about what it's trying to solve. And if that solves what are you having, yeah, go deep dive into microservices. And one of the steps that I think works really well for me is understanding the transition from a microservice, from a traditional architecture. What is like the main, uh, even more, try to do like a little migration about, I don't know, an application server, an app in an application server, and try to move it to a microservice and into a cloud service. You are going to learn a lot about the technical changes and challenge that in the middle of that. After that, you will have like a second validation that if it really what you need, if you're really winning something, okay. And after that, just then try to dive into containers and new cloud technology that is supporting these complex systems. So I will recommend you to try to read more in the logical way that what are about. If it's good for you, then do like little technical validation to because sometimes it's okay, it's good for me, but if you're not trying to implement something of that, you're not going to realize that is what is the if it's going to be painful to you or your team or your company. So this is more like a how much invest you want to do on how much you are good to risk and lose, because it's time, it's people, it's effort. So always when you're trying new stuff, you need to risk little and learn a lot. That's like the way to go step by step. And the good thing to do that step in Ortelius is you're going to be able to save a lot of time with people explaining that and maybe showcasing, giving you some working session, giving you some really nice 5 minutes video. So that's the magic and the good thing to be in a community like Ortelius. And particularly, I have to say, in Ortelius is, I don't know, you drop a question and there is like 3, maybe more people like, hey, I can help you, giving you some advice. And so that's amazing, because I don't know, I'm not saying that every community has good and bad thing, but there is some places where you drop something and you're lucky if you get something. Not even because the people is I don't know, is not open, is not don't want it. Sometimes there is just too busy. But here usually people one another way get and create the time to explain you and help you. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I want to share about it.
Such a great description. Sure.
Absolutely. And Sasha, if you want to add something into this topic, go ahead.
No, really, I think Sergio summed it up so well there. I mean, it was brilliant. I like the fact that you say containerize something, start with something. Go and containerize an application like a Python application or a Java application, or Angular, for example. Do something like that and go and get your hands dirty trying to containerize something like that. And exactly just to echo what Sergio said, you'll learn so much, and then you will move on you'll know naturally what to move on to next. Yeah, I just think that's such a great idea. Just to echo what Sergio said there. Yeah, yes. Don't be afraid. Get in there. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the whole point of the conversation here is what I want to drive the home is that is to start from the very small, because you see from the people who are already into the microservices environment, So we need to find those people who are already invested, I think 3 or 4 years already into the microservices, and you just started your journey. And how to ask question, how to ask what your experience is. And that's Ortelius is. That's Ortelius community is, because we have people who are using microservice for a very long time. They tell us what are the challenges they face, and some of the challenges everybody will face because they are universal when you're migrating your traditional app into the microservices. And as Sergio just said, 100%, start small and then building on top of it, and then realize, is this one way, if I containerize this app into the microservices, what are the benefits this app will provide, and then start shipping other apps. Start thinking about the whole traditional app as a box set, as a small box set, and then containerize those boxes, the functionality into the different boxes, and then finally integrate those. But start from start distributing your application into the boxes. I think that's a strategy for you. That's a strategy for everyone. So the next question from my side, Sergio, tell our audience, what are you currently working at on the Ortelius, and or what are the things you are currently working on the Ortelius community right now, and what we are looking for the other contributor if they want to join us. What are the area we are looking for the new contributors?
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you how I start. I start like pretty much thinking on technical implementation. I was like super eager to try to share and try to, I don't know, take the experience about creating containers, maybe patterns and some stuff that make you the container more stable and reliable, and stuff like that. But at this point, that was like my initial way to work here. But time to time, I realized that is some really heavy and important aspect in a community that is not just what are you implementing. You need to grow your community. You need to you can have like a super cool product that solve all your problems, but if you don't have a easy way to people get right into this solution, like understand, have videos, people explaining, like good tutorials and quality documentation, is not going to get into the people. So at this point, I'm doing I using my time or Ortelius to try to share, like mentoring, explain, like more like empowering other people that can support the community, like can push Ortelius ahead. So I think I'm doing like that, like more an internal support to more people can help us to go further. That's the way I'm seeing. I'm doing a lot of videos, working session. I don't like to just talk. So, for example, with Arvin, we are doing some session to demonstrate that in a few minutes you can what we were saying right now, like we can do a little experiment, a little showcase about how this works to people say like, okay, this is not something like I'm going to take a month. I can in a morning just do a little step, maybe on this working session with 1 hour. After a week we can have something working. So that is more tangible for people to say, okay, so I don't know, 1 hour for every day for 1 week is something I can afford that. I can afford that for my team or for someone to explain. So I start in a really technical aspect on the implementation of Ortelius, and today I'm trying to support more in the community. So that's the message too. You can find another spaces in the Ortelius where you can push this open source further. And it's not, we are like today we are like doing more podcasts, more LinkedIn posts, more, it's more like sharing, it's more like giving, having and receiving feedback. um, because we always going to, it's like when it's your kid, right? We always going to see that is perfect and is the best, is the more capable. The only way to be sure of that and grow and get better is just feedback, and feedback is for doing onboarding of more people. It's just that it's more people commenting and giving you feedback about what are you working at. So yeah, that's the way I see it today.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a really important point because we want to educate community about this kind of stuff and because 90, I think most of the person are relatively new to the microservices kind of stuff, and we need to have some kind of members who can educate people around this whole ecosystem of microservices, cloud native, GitOps, DevOps, SRE kind of things. And I think that's a very difficult role, but I'm really happy you are stepping up for this role and doing a wonderful job in educating people about microservices. So now I want to use Sasha and the same question to you.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Whatever. So this question was, what are you right now doing into a
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. So, yes, sorry. At the moment, I've, because I wanted to know more about how Ortelius fits into a GitOps environment, I took on the challenge of doing the diagram for all the different components that are fitting into this architecture and how it's been implemented currently. Because what I find with, because we're all over the world and people are doing little bits and pieces of the project, it's nice to have, I thought I would be so great to take that on, because not only would I learn myself because I wanted to know more, but it would also help other people in the community understand what does a microservices environment look like, right? And where does Octalius fit into this environment, right? And so I took on the architecture diagram for the GitOps POC. And it's been such a great learning experience, and I've been able to get excellent feedback from different people on how I can improve the documentation. And basically, it's basically a picture, because I just prefer pictures, and it makes more sense to me to see something in a visual image, right? So yeah, that's what I've taken on, and it's been a great learning experience. Yeah.
Absolutely. For explaining, for showing you. Sasha is a very active community member. He not only contributing the code, but also helping other how to contribute and what are the challenges we are facing every day in Ortelius repository. I think Sasha is a very member who can help you. And also, there is so as we started our discussion around that, Ortelius is a bigger picture in the cloud native and the microservices landscape. Well, let's say we started from the code, then we containerize in a Docker container, then we ship that container into the Kubernetes cluster. So that's a part of the story. But our story is not ended in there. When we start, our story is very broad behind, because after we install and Kubernetes cluster is up and running, application are running on top of cluster, we need to secure, monitor that cluster, what happening inside it. So there are so many things that Ortelius community and Ortelius project is doing at this moment of time. And we have a deploy hub project as well. And I think most of the people you're not familiar with this project. So go ahead, guys, tell us what is deploy hub.
Who wants to go first? That's actually a really good question, because I think Deploy Hub is basically the granddaddy of Ortelius, right? And that's kind of where Ortelius came from. It's the open source part of Deploy Hub, the commercial version, although if you want to call it I guess the enterprise version. Yes, I haven't actually. I've done a little demo with Deploy Hub, and yeah, it's obviously an awesome tool. It's Ortelius, but Ortelius on steroids. It's got some extra features and functions that aren't in the open source version, and I think that's around the security, right? I think it's around if I remember correctly, it's around security, but that is basically what I know at the moment. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because open source, at the end of the day, people you use, like say, some of the other solution in the open source, like let's say you use Kyverno, or might be you using Linkerd, might be you using some other container building runtime images, open source. You can use it and you can try it out, and wonderful job, good J, everything works well, and you are good to go. But sometimes in the company, there are people who needs some kind of a knobs. Let's say they kind of some of a dashboard. They click on that dashboard. Behind the scenes, some of the stuff built up for you, and you are just go direct. You couldn't do anything else. So that's are the projects are people and building on top of open source, and that is Deploy Hub. I think you have to take a look at it. There's a wonderful solution if you are don't invest time in your learning around microservices, but just use a tool that can do the heavy lifting for you, and that's a Deploy Hub for you, for everyone. So it's a wonderful discussion moving on, going forward right now, but we have a very small time remaining, 7 more minutes left. But it's been a story was, and the show goes on by the help and by the passionate people around you. And this show must go on because we need your contribution. We need your insights around microservices. We need your feedback, how you are using microservices today. And what are we lacking behind? What are the things we are not good at right now? If we were doing some mistakes around, let's say in the documentation, go submit an issue on the GitHub repository. Tell us how we can be a vendor, our documentation could be a good fit for it. Another work with this show is for those people who are interested and enthusiastic about open source and enthusiastic about this particular domain that's called microservices, and they want to contribute into this open source. What are these steps? And let's say if they're having difficulties in contributing the open source, whom are the people they want to address those issues? So you check out these Sasha, Sergio. These are the people. These are the people has this responsibility to help you get familiar with these or this community and these of the members. Go find them, chat with them on the Discord channel. The link is available in the description, and help us and go and connect with these persons because they are very friendly, always happy to help, always there to help, always there to get your up to speed with these microservices environment. So before I let you go, the final thoughts I'm going to share. And are you happy with the first episode of the Ortelius Office, or you are excited about spending time with me and Sasha?
Sasha, by default, you're always going to be the first. Okay, just to, I don't know, be more coordinated.
Yeah, geez. I mean, are you asking us if we're excited to be doing the first one? I think this is awesome, and I think it's an excellent thing that we should continue to do, and to have people from the community also join in on these things, and show some faces. These are people who have just signed up, right? And these are people who are contributing and getting to learn how it all fits together and works, right? And it really is an amazing thing for me, because I get to meet so many amazing people around the world, and it enriches my life incredibly. It's like when you eat food, you don't put no spices on your food, right? You put a lot of spice on. So if you come to the Ortelius community, you're going to add a lot of spice to your food. So come and join us. And you can add chili, because chili's not just a country, it's also you can
thank you for pointing out that.
Yeah, just in case people were wondering, and you can meet people from India and Pakistan and the States. I mean, there's so many amazing people in this community that actively contribute and chat. And like the guys have said, there's no silly questions, come and learn, come and find out what this thing is all about, this microservices and Ortelius, right? And I myself have presented this Ortelius at one of my clients, and they loved it so much and gave me the go ahead to actually implement it. So I can't wait to be able to do that. Just got to find the time. All right. Thanks very much, guys. See you soon.
Thank you. Well, I continue with this. I'm super excited. It was really fun. I think we are, maybe we were like too structured for the first time, but because we wanted to give a good impression, but at the same point we wanted to be like really friendly and demonstrate that I would say this technology, cloud technology, open source, CNCF, CI/CD, and a lot of stuff that are going around are complex. You need to do a lot of dedication, a lot of time. But the true thing is about a lot of experimentation and failing. So we are going to try to show that even here or even in a company, you are going to fail a lot. So we want to share that it's not a perfect thing, and there is always to get grown is super good. So in next section we want to show that the more human side about technology is not a perfectionist sign or stuff like that. It's a really more about effort, consistency, and try and go ahead day by day. So that's when I say Ortelius is a really safe place to start, is because that we are going to show our human side of this, and it's not easy. But the good thing is when you have a lot of people around you that are going to help you to get up and continue. I think good company is more is a better way to go ahead than just buying the best tools and stuff like that. You have a lot of tools stuff to buy to get a good result, but when you have a good company, a good team, I think is a better way to go ahead and get into your goals. So that's the message. Have fun. Hope you see you in next session. If you get fun on this session and at the same point learn, just share it with the rest of your friends. We are going to give it up as far as we can.
Thank you very much. This is Ortelius episode number 1, and Sasha tell you how excited he is for the first ever episode of Ortelius officer. And thanks, Sasha, for the excitement you shared for today's episode. Absolutely. And thank you very much for joining us today. This is just the beginning of the Ortelius office hours, and you tell from the eyes of Sasha tells you how excited we all are for the rest of the episode. So go join us. All the links are available on the chat. Join us for the hands-on stuff on the episode number 2, and we will post it out when it's going to be going live. Thanks. Bye-bye, Sergio. It's a wonderful time spending with you. Sasha, always been a pleasure talking to you, listening to you. And thanks, everyone. Hope to catch up again for the episode number 2. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Cheers, guys.